What's going on, guys? It's your boy Chaos back here at the Chaos and Lube podcast. And of course, as always, we got West Coast Lulu in the motherfucking building. What's good with it, man? What's good with it? We are back again with another fucking live. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. And of course, as you guys know, we are here on a Saturday, not our usual day, but usual duty calls, man. We got to go to work. Still got to pay the bills like we said at last pod. Lights got to stay on. We got to make sure that we do.
Shit's got to get moved.
Yeah, man. People don't understand. Like, at the end of the day, we do this shit for fun. But, we still got to work.
It was a fun one yesterday, too, huh?
Man, bro. So, look, if you guys don't watch us on socials and stuff, we got up yesterday and dipped out of here around 4 o'clock in the morning. Hey, what's good? What's good?
Hey,
what's up, Angel?
what up? My boy Angel.
Yeah, man. So we ended up dipping out of here at 4 o'clock, drove all the way to Visalia, unloaded $4,000, and then hit that crazy rain.
Bro, I think the topper was the fucking, what was it called?
Armoire?
The Armoire? Holy.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, my God.
Guys, sometimes being a mover, well, a lot of times being a mover is not all that fun, man. Like, the shit that you have to move into places that people want shit to go. Make it worse. I
almost quit.
Stairs. Yeah, man.
I almost quit.
I was even sitting there. I'm like, fuck. How are we gonna get this big motherfucker inside this house?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Man, it's funny you said that because I told Kirk that the shipper.
Oh, okay.
I literally told him, I was like, hey man, where there's a will, there's a way. We'll get it in here. We just got to figure out the safest way for us not to get hurt and for us not to break.
Hey man,
shit.
Shout out Kirk, man. Shout out Kirk.
Yeah, he hooked us up nicely.
Hell yeah.
Nice little 2 times he hooked us up with a nice tip.
Yep.
2 times, man. Hey, what's up, Jennifer? What's up, AJ?
Hey.
Angel? We already
Scoop,
got people
Jen.
in the building. Yeah, man. Yeah, so it was that one was a rough one.
Yeah.
I was nervous, man, because look, particle board shit, it's not that simple to deal with. It falls apart super easy. And then on top of that, we had to turn it on its side. Bro.
You made a custom slide, bro, in the rain.
Bro, pouring. It was soaked. The furniture was getting, it was a day yesterday for sure. And then, top it off, we had to deal with shit on the way back. It was just
part of the job, man.
Part of what you got to deal with, trying to make money, do what we got to do. But
it's a lovely life, man.
Look, man, either way, we're back here live as usual. We say we're going to do this every week today. Even though we're a day late and $1 short, we are here. Motherfuckers, what it do? Welcome back, everybody.
Cheers.
We're glad for everybody who comes in here.
Ciao.
Hey, man.
Give me some. There you go.
It's 11 o'clock. We are having a beer. We haven't even had breakfast. So, hey, fuck it. Weekend. Might as well start it off right?
This one's for you, Angel.
Yeah, man. So, either way, today's topic was something that we felt like had to be talked about. Simply because we have I have some personal experience in this specific topic. But I think it's really important as guys who have a dating podcast, who have a male self-development podcast, to speak on things that really affect us as men and how we end up treating women in the long term because of what we've dealt with. So
yeah,
obviously the title is unstable topics. Unstable women.
Yeah.
And that's a very broad statement. So let's touch on it. First off, what do you think unstable woman pertains to?
In my opinion, unstable women, I think
it's 5 o'clock somewhere. That's right.
It comes in a lot of forms. It doesn't necessarily have to be I think when people hear unstable women, they automatically think, mental illness, depressed, are lost and don't really know. That's why they try to say that, I'm trying to find myself and or whatnot, but
I hate that shit, bro.
Not necessarily. Like I said, it might not always be a bad situation. It could be maybe you're stuck in a relationship where you have to deal with certain things. Or
not to cut you off real quick, but just on that thought, I'm trying to find myself. I hate when women tell you I'm trying to find myself, I'm just doing me, but yet they're still out there going on dates, accepting gifts. I
think that's
are you really trying to find yourself?
A coping mechanism that they use on themselves to make them feel that they're not out here just, going on these multiple dates and multiple men, in their head, they're like, oh, well, I'm just doing what's normal. I'm doing but look, in all honesty, I don't knock ladies for doing what they do. You know, obviously, if let's say you're having a lonely day or whatever, and a guy happens to ask you out, I mean, naturally, you would probably say yes. You know, but I think when you're going into the intentions, oh, I just want to have fun. He's a cool guy or whatever, but you're not realizing that this man is taking time, energy, money
Money,
to invest in you to not only give you a great day and a great time, but giving you
an
himself, you
experience,
know,
an
a good
experience.
experience and all that. So I just think that, in my opinion, for especially for average men, you know, because we have to, you know, obviously we don't have the luxury of taking them out of, you know,
To the top notch
exactly,
restaurant.
you know, we have to do what we can, but at the end of the day, you have to be wise, you know, and it's just not a smart move to go after these women that are, in my opinion, are unstable.
I think as a guy, you have to know what you're attracting and if that's what you want. So, for example, like I spent a lot of my single years, the past couple of years, like knowing that I want somebody in my life, but I won't do it if they really don't add any value to my life. I've said this on many pods before. Like, I won't bring somebody in who's just going to disrupt my peace. Like, I can honestly say I'm very content with being alone and not with somebody because my peace of mind is here. Like, I don't need or yearn for a woman's touch here in this house, but every now and again, like I want that. It would be
I mean,
nice
it's
to have.
natural.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I wouldn't. I would much rather be single and like deal with the burdens of life on my own than to bring somebody in who's just gonna bring their trauma, their issues, their baggage, and they're not ready to really date. Like mentally, I feel like mentally, you have to be really fortified in order to be ready to date.
Do you think that this is one of the main reasons why men go for younger women? Because we know chances are they're not gonna have trauma, they're not gonna be have a long body count, and I mean, I think that women think that, oh, they knock us because we want young women, but in our reality, wouldn't you want to go out with a 21 year old that's, you know, doesn't have many life experiences, you know, she's open minded and she's, you know, submissive and all that, as opposed to a 28-year-old girl that has been through some stuff, that has, you know, lived her life a bit longer than her, and obviously has her own experiences and all that. Do you think that that plays in why we choose to date younger women?
Well, let's keep it real and 100 with people. Yeah, that's a part of it, but I think also the fact that they are younger, much more beautiful, much more, in shape,
Fertile.
less bodies, like, the more like standard shit. But yeah, absolutely. I think that the older a woman is, the more likely she's gone through some shit and it's changed her and mold her. And a lot of times it molds them into more masculine women because naturally they have to fend for themselves. They have to provide for their kids if they got them. They have to be a certain way. They have to be mom and dad.
Yeah.
And I think that in turn that creates a more masculine woman, and it's become a more new norm for women to be masculine. And it's crazy to me to say, but like men are being a lot more feminine, which is crazy. But it creates a whole new dynamic between men and women, and I think that's where we're getting lost because now this equal 50-50 thing is a thing that men are really asking for versus before it would be a man providing all the time. And I think, excuse me, as a more alpha male that I consider myself, I find that hard because like right now, like I'll be honest, I want a girl, but I also feel like financially and some of the stuff that I'm dealing with in my personal life, I might not be perfectly suitable to be ready to fully commit to a relationship. But those are things that I'm actively working on. So it's not like it's a problem, you know what I mean? But again, I think as a guy, you have to be able to provide those types of things in order to have a more feminine female, or for her to be able to at least be a little bit more feminine in her right. So, yeah, I think back to your question, yeah, younger is a lot more.
It's ideal.
Yeah, it's ideal just because you don't have so much shit that you're dealing with. Like I could honestly say, like a lot of the older women that I talk to really do come with baggage. Like they do come with stresses. They do come with things that you have to consider whether or not you want to deal with, or if you want to bring it into your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why I've become so like picky like over the years, bro. Like, cause sometimes I even question myself. I'm like, am I too fucking picky? Like,
I mean, I don't
Cecilia,
necessarily.
what up, man? What up? What up? What up?
Hey, what up, Tessie?
Thank you to have being here,
But
Ceci. We
you know,
appreciate you
back
in
to it.
here.
Look, I don't necessarily would call it picky. You know, I just think that you've already experienced so many relationships, or you know, or women, period, to know the kind of tactics that they bring, the kind of expectations they have nowadays, and you're just not gonna go for it anymore. And I don't necessarily would call that picky. You
Too
know, that's
picky?
just you knowing your worth and knowing what you're able to provide, and you know, it's a hell of a lot in my opinion. So you know, I think any girl would be lucky to to have somebody that can do the things that we're able to do.
Even though you think it's a hell of a lot of women would see what I have and say that's not enough. And that's a big problem.
That's
that I run
where
into.
I believe social media comes into play, because I think what people don't realize, and I've said it before,
Standards is right.
I've said it before, that people aren't going to show you the bad times. You know, they're not going to show you when they're struggling. They're only going to show you, oh, I'm on a trip to, Cancun, or I'm on a trip to New York, or yeah, that's all good and dandy. But what did you do to get there? You know, you had to bust your butt. You had to work extra hours. You had to do whatever you had to do. You're not going to post that, oh, I'm tired of doing overtime, or I'm tired,
Yeah.
And that's what, what it really takes to reward yourself, hard work and dedication. But nobody's really going to post I mean, I like to think of us, since we work in this line of work, movers. Obviously, when we post something, we're moving something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
typically.
And just an example of yesterday, how big that armoire was. You know, in my head, bro, I don't tell you these things on the job, but I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, no, this is not gonna happen. There's no way. How is this gonna happen? But again, where there's a will, there's a way, and obviously, a little bit of experience and all that put together, bro, you accomplish something.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? But it's crazy to me that, like I said, women nowadays, I feel that they get brainwashed with thinking like you have to look a certain way now. Now you have to have a big butt. Now you have to have big yabos, and you have to have those duck lips. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me that that's the new norm.
Nobody's no natural anymore, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Scary.
again, I think the most attractive woman is the anonymous one, the one that we don't see on social media, the ones that don't present
100%,
themselves,
man.
the ones that don't advertise themselves, you know what I mean? And they're more low key. And let's just say that they do have a social media or whatever. They're more conservative about it. They're more family oriented. They're more, not about making what do you call it? When they make sexy photos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you call that when they're
I'm not sure where you're getting at.
when they're always trying to look
Dolled
sexy? No, like when in the pictures, promiscuous.
Oh, promiscuous.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It makes them look more
Over-sexualized.
Exactly, over sexualize themselves. But yeah.
Let me see what AG said here.
Let me see.
Bruise, abuse, want to unload their baggage. Anyone? Yeah. Yeah, and it's true. Look, you have to find the right one that you will want the journey with. That glare. Here, you read it, because that glare is really, I can't really see it.
You have wait, hold on, let me read.
You have to find the right one is the one that I was just reading.
Oh, you have to find the right one that will
want with the journey
with you. There are good women out there that will appreciate every little thing you do. Trust, she is out there.
Look, we're not saying that they're not out there, Ceci. We're saying that majority of the women that we come across these days, well, myself, because losing a relationship, but majority of the women that I come across and people that I know who are single come across the same type of experiences that I'm going to speak on today. And it's you have to, as a guy actively trying to date, you have to weed through a lot of bad females, bro. They're like, you'll be surprised how many women are out there who will not even give you an opportunity to see them unless you can prove that you're about paying for their nails, or that you're going to take them out to a really nice restaurant, that you're going to give them an experience.
Sir, a real high value woman would come with all that already. She wouldn't want anything from you, and it's just a mutual thing. We're meeting and getting to know each other, but now you have to meet these certain expectations. It's just wild, and it's true.
Yeah. And with what Adri's saying too, like a lot of these women, like they do want to date, and the crazy part is the one that have all the baggage and all the trauma and stuff, they're the ones out there like asking for all this extra shit. but you're coming along not even with a stable mind. Like, how is it that you want, the wine and dine treatment, but then you're sitting here like don't even know how to like be happy with yourself? Like, that's a fucking problem. Your face.
Jesus.
Hey, them fucking, what is it
A little
called?
rough. Arrogant bastards.
Arrogant baskets. Them motherfuckers are strong.
Yibus.
But yeah, it's like you come with all this shit like going on in your own your own life, your own head, and then you expect me to provide like top-notch treatment, and you don't even know how to care for another person, much less yourself. Like, I think in order to date these days, and I hate to say this because I know you said it earlier, but there are a lot of women out there that have a lot of mental illnesses. And I feel like it's more prominent now than it ever was in the past. And there's studies on this that it is a thing. Like, I'm not just saying this shit out my ass. I'm not just saying it just because I'm, like a man and I'm looking at it from a man's lens to a woman. No. But the reality is there are statistics out there that say women do have more mental issues now than men do, and more than it ever have been in the past. And I think social media plays a lot into that. And I think I remember...
And feminism.
Yeah, feminism for sure. It's created a whole new like type of women, bro. Like, and I'm telling you, men are the ones simping now and being more emotional, being more like women. What
I just read, she ready to take him to Imperial Burger.
Hey,
Scooby said, I mean, at this point, just say you're selling yourself, time, etc. I mean...
It's, man, Adrian brings up a good point. It's almost to the point where dating a woman now, you might as well say, you know what, I cost this much if you want this type of service. Like, you're almost, like, social media has created literally, like, I fucking hate to say the word, but prostitutes, bro. Like, literally, like, I'm telling you, I've had women that would not take me any type of serious unless...
Can't we just call them employees?
Yeah, like literally. Like, that will not even take me seriously unless I'm like, hey, do you want to go to this restaurant? And they're like, yeah, fuck yeah. But let me say, oh, let's go on a hike. Nigga.
Yeah, like, what? Like,
hike? They're like, hike where?
Yeah, man. It's sad, because the norm is just not it anymore. What it used to be. Like, hey, let's go on a little lunch date. Let's go have a little... I mean, I've never had a picnic, but I'm just saying, little small things like that is just not acceptable anymore. And when you're trying to at least get to know a woman, they want the very best right off jump. How do we even know you're even worth that if we're just meeting you for the first time? I think it shows a lot, and it tells a lot about a person when they're expecting like act your budget. First of all, if you don't normally go to 5-star restaurants, why should you expect me to take you to a 5-star restaurant when you don't normally do it? You know what I mean? Like, if you're just as in the same tax bracket as I am,
and honestly, fine dining is a fucking gimmick, anyways. Like,
it's a scam.
It's a straight scam,
bro. Fine dining is a salbutes at Mama Chow's house. Okay, there is no arguing right there,
bro. I really gotta learn how to. Actually, I know how to make it, but I really got to figure out how she does it.
You know what? You're actually... I can't believe you just said that. So you know how to make salbutes, and you haven't made them.
But it's because finding the masa and then the stuff that you...
If there was a picture of somebody that was fake, look at this guy.
Hey,
fake.
Anyways. What she say? Coffee, beach, place to chit chat. See? And look. And this is what... going back to what Ceci was saying not too long ago. There are good women out there. We're not saying that there's not. It's just that you have to weed through so many of them as a guy. I'm sure women have to deal with it too, like with guys being, assholes and whatever else. But I also want you guys to understand that a lot of the women created these guys. And I think you guys have to take some responsibility for it too. And I'm not saying you people who are in this chat specifically. I'm just saying majority of women do this fuck shit.
I'm sure y'all have friends out there that are doing this to some man, and I guess when they tell you guys about it, I guess it's entertaining to a certain extent because you guys are viewing it through a female's point of view, and you guys think that it's funny, and you guys think that it's fuck it, girl, do what you do, get what you can, you know what I mean? But I mean, in all reality, I feel like that's obviously that's wrong because if you don't have at least a physical attraction to this guy where you're thinking about at least giving him some or something, then you shouldn't even waste his time, bro. That goes right back to the whole simping thing, bro. Like, these motherfuckers can't tell the difference because just by a female's hitting them right back, texting them fast, they think, oh yeah, we're in. Nah, man, like, that's not how it works, bro.
I think look, I know, like Jennifer just said, ouch. And I'll elaborate on that. I think that if a nice guy is who you say you want, then when you get that nice guy, just because he doesn't look necessarily the way you want him to look, he's not as tall as you want him to be, he doesn't make as much money as you want him to make, take that guy seriously. Because that guy will more than likely treat you better than any rich millionaire would ever. And I think a lot of women look past guys like that. And to the point of this episode, I used to be that nice guy. I used to always do everything my mom's taught me. Treat women with respect. Don't, badmouth them when they're around, when they're not. Treat them right. Open the door for them. Pull out their chair. Call them beautiful every time you see them. Get them flowers. I did all that stuff. And every single time I did it for what I thought was the right girl, I was the one who got fucked in the end. I was the one who did all this extra shit just to get a girl who partly liked me, partly seen something good, but then realized, okay, he's not making nearly as much as I thought he was, or whatever the case is, man. Like, women have to take some accountability for the men being the way they are now. And I think part of the reason why a lot of the times when I date now, I'm straight to the point now. And what's crazy to me is that being the nice guy that I was got me nowhere, but being somewhat more forward, being more of an asshole, all of a sudden I get more play. I'm like,
it's crazy,
how the fuck does this work to you guys? Like, how is it that you guys want such a good man, but then when you get him, you treat him like shit, and then when he starts being an asshole, all of a sudden you're in love with him? Like, make it make sense to me, because it doesn't make zero fucking sense.
Were we in backwards land?
Yeah, like, what is the opposite day? Fucking
whatever, man. Whatever you call it.
And it's created the people that are out there, and it's created the kind of person that I've become now. Like, and the crazy thing is, I still respect women. I will never call them out their name. Sure, I might say, the bitch word here on this pod, but I don't think it's necessarily directed towards specific women. I think it's just so ingrained in our DNA and like culture that to say it.
We only say it because we don't know them individually.
Yeah, and because I would never call a woman a bitch to her face.
The ones that deserve it. I mean, look,
even the ones who did, I've never called them.
Okay. I have a confession.
Shit.
I'm gonna make this short, but I used to have a temper. Especially, I have a certain situation where I was talking to Miklo actually, and shout out Miklo, and some girl says some slick shit, and I didn't think nothing of it. I'm not really paying attention too much, but then she went as far as disrespect me, and I know what topic you're talking about. And then I just went completely off, bro. It just threw me off. It was like so unladylike. It was just something that I snapped, but in my mind, I was justified because I don't normally talk to you. You don't know me. I don't know you. I didn't disrespect you. I didn't say anything towards you. So why should you direct that towards me?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I went off. I called her every book in the name. You know what I mean?
Every name in the book.
Exactly. It's the arrogant bastard. I'm sorry. It's 11 o'clock.
I got
Give
you.
me a break.
I got
Throw me a freaking bone here. Okay. But yeah, and I was wrong for that. I see that now.
Yeah.
But in all reality, man, you got to treat somebody with respect in order to get it. And
Agreed.
It doesn't, in my eyes, gender doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you're a woman, I'm going to treat you to a certain respect where a lady needs to be respected.
To be fair, we call niggas bitches too.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, what I'm trying to get at is that, I don't see myself as being misogynistic. I don't believe half the shit that I said to her. But again, it's just the thing that
I think all men have some misogynistic
There's some
tendencies.
people out there that actually are, dicks and bitches, so.
Hey, call it what it is, man. If they act like it, they are one.
Yeah, man.
It is what it is, man.
And you got to call them out, and you got to tell them to their face.
Accountability is
Because
everything,
if you
man.
don't tell them, I guarantee you she never disrespected another man in front of his face after what I did to her.
Bro, it's crazy? Like, some of these baddies that I've dated in the past, like, met a real one when they met me, especially in the last couple of years, because I've not held back, bro. I don't sugarcoat shit no more, man. Like, and I've told females straight up, like, if this is what you're about, then we can only be one thing. Like, because you don't show any type of like girlfriend qualities, you don't, much less wife qualities, so like, if you want to act a certain way, you get a certain type of treatment. So
that's exactly what Audrey just said. Act like one, get treated like one.
Fuck, see, fucking, it's like,
See?
and that's what we're saying. So it's like, you get what you give, man. Like, and that's only fair. So to get into like deep into why we brought up today's topic, I have a story about. I got a juicy story about a girl I dated
Let me get my beer
a while back.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, everybody. Here, let me cheers because they say somebody said on one of the pods that it's bad luck to cheers with an empty glass or something like that.
I'm doing it double.
So, first story. There's this girl I was talking to. She was single as far as I knew at the time. We talked for months, bro, and I kept trying to go out with her. I kept trying to do like a simple date, like, let's go to movies, let's go, walk around the mall, let's talk about something, let's have dinner, let's have, lunch, drink, whatever. Just simple stuff, She kept she's like, oh, maybe today I'll let you know, or maybe next week, whatever. It was always something, I could never like actually get time to like spend time with her. So I'm like, she seemed normal from her posts and things. I had never met her. And I'm like, all right, some seems off about her, like she'll hit me up, and then like a week, 2 go by, and then I'd hit her up, she wouldn't respond. I'm like, something's off about her. Anyways, fast forward a year later, all of a sudden she hits me up out of the blue, bro. I'm like, I have completely forgot about her. Out of the blue, she hits me up. She's like, hey, what are you doing next week? I'm like, oh shit, I don't know, like how you been, stranger? And she was like, well, let's hang out. I think I'm finally ready to like date. And I'm like, oh, now you're ready. Like you said you were ready a year ago. Like, oh. Anyways, long story short is we went on this date and the whole idea, like I told her straight up, just like I said earlier, I've gotten to the point where now I'm at a point in my life where I just tell people straight. This is what I'm about. I'm really, and fortunately, when she hit me up, I wasn't really trying to get into it with anybody at the time. I was like, I'm over this dating bullshit. Like at this point, I only need females for one thing, and I hate to say it like this, but sex was the only thing that I wanted from y'all because you guys weren't giving me anything worth fucking a dime. So I told her straight up, I'm like, look, I gave you an opportunity back then, and you kind of like foiled that. So like, I really don't know at this point in my life if I want to like seriously date. So I'm like, I'll be real with you. I'll take you out. We could go have dinner or whatever. But be straight up. At the end of the night, this is what I'm expecting. And if that's not what you want, then don't even bother with me. She was all right. She was like, okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Cool. Mutual agreement, right? Pick her up, have our little date, and right away as she got in the car, I realized that she's mentally unstable. Something was going on. She like went from 0 to 100, like about all of her life stories. And she kept going on about the guys that she was dealing with in the past year. I'm like, oh, so like, clearly you've been dating, at the time when I was hitting you up, I wasn't good enough for you to date, but now all of a sudden I am. And like I said, 0 to 100 going off. She's talking about these 2 guys throughout the night, and I'm like, damn, like all you want to do is bring up like your ex, like what are we doing here? So anyways, I'm like, you know what, shut the fuck up, because at the end of the day, like I had a goal, I'm like, I'm it's been a little minute, let me just go and get my shit. And so we're on the way back to the house, talking about it, get back to the house, start doing our thing. Next thing I know, she calls me one of the dudes' names that she's been calling me, or she's been talking about the entire night while we're doing our thing.
In the middle of it?
In the middle of it, bro. Like,
wow. She
was like, oh, you so-and-so. I'm like, this is the fucked up part about us guys, bro. I heard it, and I was like, the fuck, she just called me homeboy's name. The guy she's been fucking cursing out the whole night. So clearly this is recent for her. She's clearly still, like, I can tell, bro. Like, I'm telling you, mentally, you can see something was there. And I found a big problem, and I was like, you know what? It don't even matter, because at the end of the day, I'm not planning on wifing you up. So, let's just keep on doing what the fuck we're doing. Bro, I know
naturally.
I know it sounds fucked up, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going ham still.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. But anyways, so it wasn't until I was taking her back. She's like, I really had a great time with you. let's, hang out again. She's like, I really like you. You're such a sweet guy. Like, if I would have known this is the type of person you were, and, this is basically, I think she's seen the house, she's seen the car, she's seen I was well put together. I wasn't just like a nigga, so to speak. And, yeah, I think she recognized, like, damn, this guy's actually got some shit going on. So she's like, all about like, oh, I really can't wait to see you again. All of a sudden, And I told her straight up, I'm like, look, I'm gonna be real with you. Maybe you don't remember, but I remember. You called me some other dude's name during, sex. And she was like, what? No, I would never. I was like, no, you did. Oh, no, I'm so sorry if I did that. I didn't mean to. Like, I didn't even know how I would do something like that. I'm like, but you did. She's like, oh, man, now you're not going to want to talk to me. Now you're going to think so much of me. I'm like, look, it doesn't matter. Like, we were never going to be serious anyways. But the fact of the matter is that you got so much going on in your life that you don't, and again, I kind of attracted that because, I could have like not dealt with her, right? But, again, I had a motive. And I made that very clear to her. So it just goes to show, bro, like the women that are out there, like, are doing some crazy shit, bro. And bro, when I tell you, I dropped her off and I was like, it was really nice to meet you. I still did all the shit, opened up her door, gave her a little hug. And I'm like, it was nice to meet you. I had a great time. I'll talk to you here and there. And then, bro, as soon as I left, I had like 2 paragraphs by the time I got home.
A whole essay.
Whole paragraph about how much like I'm a sweet guy and this and that. Like, I really don't want to fuck this up. I'm so sorry that I called you this guy's name and da. And she's like really trying to save face, like trying to make this like work. Like, I'm like, why now you want to take me seriously? But when I was trying to do it for you back then, when I had nothing else going on and I was actually ready to settle down and talk to somebody, why now you want to do it? And then you do all this fucking crazy shit on top of that. Like, you really think I'm gonna take you seriously? Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that like the delusion, and this is why I put it in the thumbnail. Women are delusional, bro.
I'm
like,
actually a little flabbergasted that you actually went through that, something like that. That's crazy, bro. I don't even know, bro. I don't even know what I would have done. I would have just, I don't know. I guess I would have finished too, but still.
Look, man. You got call us dogs, call us what you want to call us, but guys, especially if we're the ones telling you like this is what it's gonna be. I could understand if I went in there, I was like, oh, I really want to be in a relationship, and like I can't wait to like make this like legit. Like, you seem so nice, and like I don't even know this girl, And again, having a girl who's gonna come in and let you smash on the first night is already a red flag as it is. But again, I was out there seeking one thing and one thing only, so it didn't change anything for me.
Yeah.
But for her, all of a sudden it was, oh, you're such a nice guy, then I can see you seriously. Why now? It's because she stopped fucking with the guy she was fucking with, and she realized that these niggas ain't shit. And here's this guy who seems to have it well put together. He's he's not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what she saw. I just know that she flipped her switch after she left his house and realized what I had. Crazy, bro.
I mean, hey,
the
bro.
delusion is real, man.
That's wild, bro. I can't even, man. But again, bro, this is just one of the. I think you're fortunate enough to see these things, man. For what they are, and normally I think a guy that's not as experienced as you probably wouldn't have known what to do in that situation. Probably would have dealt with the fact that she's probably thinking about another dude while she's on you, but. Obviously you're not gonna accept that. Well, obviously you like you said, you had one thing in mind and only, but at the same time, we're all human. Because what if she was such a vibe? Has she not done that? Would you possibly maybe have considered giving her another chance?
No, absolutely not. Because again, like I said, she fucked it up the first time around.
Oh, okay.
So to me, the second time, it was never about being in a relationship or possibly, pursuing that as our potential future. It was at the point where she hit me up again and I told her what it was. There's really no like, I didn't even consider ever taking her seriously after she fucked it up the first times, and I told her, I didn't necessarily make that point very clear, but I told her straight up what it was for that night, like what I was on and what I was trying to achieve. And that's why I gave her that. I'm like, look, if that's not what you're looking for, then don't hit me up. Like, it's cool. Like, You know, if you hit me up, I'll say, hey, but
You know, and I think that's what women don't understand. There are men out here that, you know, actually, you know, they can get it, and you know, it's not a complete like failure and a heartbreak where they're gonna have to recover. No, like I mean, you just move on to the next one. And I think that's what, like I said, you having the experience you have, that you know you were not only surprised that she was contacting you again, but
I was.
you already in your mind had already decided that she was obviously not somebody that was you were gonna take seriously, because when you were serious, obviously you're not gonna be stupid enough to make the same mistake twice.
Bro, and I've learned
know?
that that's something that as a man you have to really do. Like, recognize when you make certain choices and what the outcome of that choice, and then also recognize what the pattern was behind that. Like, how did you go about? How did you move? Like, if you can, as a man, like pay attention to what's really going on, you can really understand women. And I tend to pay attention to everything during the date. Everything when I sound like fucking fresh. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything when it comes to, you know, like what's going on during the day, how they talk to you, you know, like how often they respond, when they respond. Like, you know, there's so many facets to like figure out with women, but really knowing how to understand them is important. I think that's the reason for my success when it comes to dating. Like, I pay attention. I can actually, you know, listen actively and respond with, you know, things that they've said. You know, I don't just hear them and just it goes
Yeah,
one
picture
ear.
them getting naked.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean that's you know, and this is the thing, like, unpopular opinion, but guys picture you naked the minute they see you the first time. So get get that through your head, ladies. Like, you
Talking about, oh, you're not listening. That's because he's thinking about what he's gonna do to you.
yeah.
I mean, that's just
Yeah, get it
reality,
through your head
man.
right now, ladies. We think about y'all naked the minute we meet you. And like, if you and I look, I will say that most men will see a woman physically first and then really get to know them. And I think it's the same for women. I think they like to say, oh, it's not about the looks. It's not. Let's be real. Y'all see something you like, and naturally you go for
You
it.
wouldn't even give them the time of day. I mean, not that you're gonna be a complete, you know, a-hole to them, but you know, you're gonna nicely, kindly say, like, you know what, I'm sorry, I appreciate the comment, but you know, I'm not interested. I mean, then that's polite. I think that's worth something. But at the end of the day, you know, you're gonna get the attention.
And then I'll give you an example as why this is true. If that was not true, that you guys are not basing a guy based on their looks, why is it that most men who approach you get turned down? Because you don't see something you like. Attraction is real. Like, that physical
Visual.
attraction is super important to men and women. So
Yeah.
I again, like I said, certain things that women say I hate. I hate when a woman says, oh, looks is not important to me. Really?
Liar.
Liar. Oh man, like, you know, and again, it's the little things, bro. And just like we were saying earlier, when they say, oh, I'm finding myself right now, I'm living my best life. These are all coping fucking mechanisms, bro.
Well, let y'all know this is hitting. This is hitting like
It's good,
Jesucristo.
Yeah, man. But you know, so when they say little coping things like that, like, you're really lying to yourself, not us. You know, we know what's up. You know, so again, it is what it is, man. But we always try to stay well-rounded when it comes to these topics that we speak on, because we understand that not everybody's the same. And back to what Ceci was saying, they are out there, and we're not knocking. I could tell you right now that I know some women right now who are a little bit older, who are like really mentally sound. They still got their own thing, but they own up to their shit that they're going through, and they handle their business. They recognize that they might come off a little masculine, and I think that's important. For the fact that you can recognize who you are, where you are, and how you come off to the person that you're trying to date, that's a start. That's a mentally sound person. You know what I mean? I don't think people should really go in. Did my camera change again? It sure did, didn't it? Hold on, guys. Let me switch this back. Go ahead. Let me switch it to you, Lou, so I can switch this up. But you want to speak?
No,
on
but
that?
you're right. I think women that hold themselves accountable for what they have going on, and you know, and they could recognize that, you know, especially if you're not able to give yourself completely to a person and put that time and energy the same way that that person's gonna do. If you can't reciprocate, then you shouldn't put yourself in that position. You know, it's not fair. I mean, you know, I just think it's more of a it's more unfair for the men, because it goes right back to women being born with their value, bro. Especially if you're born beautiful, you're born with nice attributes, you know, beautiful eyes, nice hair, good body figure. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to do anything other than be yourself to hit a good guy, a wealthy man, or a high value person or whatever, because of what you just said. We're visual creatures, you know what I mean? And but at the end of the day, men have it way tougher because we have to create our value to a certain
Mm-hmm.
extent. Not only do we have to be in shape, we have to have a good job, we have to be competent, we have to be able to lead, we have to be doing
Stronger.
strong, all of these things that we have to
Be
meet.
just to even get into
Exactly.
your vicinity.
Exactly. And like I said, and it's just the reality, ladies. You guys are born with your value, and it is what
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Speaking on value, the other story that I had to speak on was a woman who was older, and I actually spoke on this story a little bit in the previous pods. And I think again, I'm get like the reason why I'm giving out these stories is I've had a lot of dating experience. I've gotten the opportunity to really understand women and how they operate and move and think, and I think that that's the reason for my success when it comes to dating. But speaking on value, women like the truth of the matter is you guys are. I love how you just burp right into
I
it.
know. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. Sorry, guys.
Man, sorry. Hey,
It's just a little rough.
Goddamn. So I think it's important to like shed light on these things because I'm not the only guy dealing with this, bro.
Yeah.
I know I'm not. I know there are. I've talked to people who are single, who are men, who deal with a lot of the same thing, and it's just really mind blowing to me how many men are dealing with it. Um, so there's this. She was 43, at the time. It was like a little bit over 2 years ago. 43 at the time. Beautiful, seem stable mentally, and we actually went out on dates. We had good times, and like I said, I mentioned it in the past, and she basically like chose another guy over me 3 times. And what's crazy to me is on the third time around, she hit me up, usual shit. Hey, how you been? Like I already knew what was up. She did it to me 3 times before, so I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, she's like, hey, what's up? This and that. I'm like, oh, you're not talking to your guy anymore? No, it didn't work out. This and that. Like, okay, but now you want it to work out with
No
me.
shame.
No shame, bro. Like, and the first time around, I took it seriously. The second time around, I was like, maybe. Third time around, I'm like, fuck you, And so when she hit me up and talking about, oh, we should hang out, this and that, I'm like, maybe. And just like I told you about the last story, I told her straight up, I'm like, look, you're beautiful, you're nice, you're sweet, whatever, but you got stuff going on, and I don't really think you want a relationship. I think you like the idea of a relationship, and I think you just like a guy treating you out and taking care of you here and there, but you got a lot of shit that you just don't want to deal with, and in all reality, I don't even think you like the way I am as a guy, so like, why are we really talking? She's like, I really think you're a good guy, and I think the way things have turned out was like my mistake, and I'm sorry about that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so let me ask you something. What do you want out of me right now? She goes, well, I'd really like a relationship. I'd like to really get serious with you. Bro, I wanted to be like, are you fucking stupid? Like in my mind, you know what I mean? Like, why would I take you seriously after you chose somebody else over me 3 times? And now you want to take me seriously. How am I supposed to respond to that? And bro, what's crazy to me is that knowing that logic, she has thought of it too. Like, oh damn, I fucked up this guy 3 times. You know what I mean? Like he's probably not like. So I told her straight up. I'm like, look, no offense. You got great looks. You got decent head on your shoulders, but you have a lot of trauma going on, and like you're really not really interested in having a guy like lead you. So like in all reality, like we're not ever gonna work out. Not to mention you fucking chose somebody else over me, right? Multiple times. and now you expect me to choose you as a person to like be serious with and solely about you. So I told her straight up, I'm like, look, no offense, but you're 43. You you look good now, but you're getting older. You don't really got the greatest job. You kind of entertain these guys until they fuck you over, and then now you want to take the guy seriously. And I was like, I'll be real with you. I was like, I don't see you more than just a fuck anymore. Like, that's it. She was like, oh my God, you're so fucking rude. I can't believe I would ever take you seriously. And I'm glad I'm not making the choice to be with you. And like, bro, going off on me. And I'm like, you do realize you fucked me over 3 times. But I never once cussed you out. Never once, like, I told her straight up, I'm like, you're getting older. And the fact that you want to sit here and like pick and choose when you want to be with a guy or pick and choose who's the right guy and then shun off the fucking nice guy the first time around, the second time around, and third time around. Now you want to be serious with me? I'm like, if anything, I would pretend like I'm going to be serious with you, get what I want out of it, and then drop your ass like you dropped me 3 times. Like, if that's what you really want out of me. But the reality is like, I'm not that kind of guy, like, despite how I feel about women sometimes. I'm not that kind of guy. So I told her straight up, I'm like, look, I can never see this being anything more than just fucking. Because I don't trust you. I don't think you even know what it means to be in a serious relationship, because you've literally gone. The first 2 times was the same guy. The third time was a whole different guy. And I told her straight up, I'm like, he's just trying to get one thing, right? Oh, no, he's not like that, this and that. I'm like, all right, whatever. And sure enough, what happened? Dropped her like a fucking sack of potatoes, bro. And anyone, you come and sit here and cry to me like, oh, you guys are such a... I'm like, you know what? You do it to your fucking self. Like, grow the fuck up. Like, if you're already 43 and you don't see this shit now, you got a fucking problem. And she, like I said, she did not like the fact that I just called her out on all her bullshit. Sometimes these women need to hear the truth.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, I think that's what's wrong. I think women need to hear the truth more often, and too many of these fucking simps out here are blowing smoke up their ass, talking about they're the prize. Then you're this, like, bitch, you got like 3 kids. You're like fucking 38. Like, what are you doing? Like, there's what can you bring to the table that's worth me,
taking you seriously?
Oh, I cook, I clean. Bitch, you're supposed to do that regardless. Like, we all gotta eat, we all gotta maintain. What are you talking about? Oh, I cook and clean. Like, what the fuck? Like, bitch, I know how to change a tire and fix my car. Like, that's normal, you know what I mean? You have to do those things.
Yep.
That's the fucking problem, bro. Like, we're not telling these females out here in this dating market. I mean, I know you do, but honestly, like, there's far too many of these motherfuckers out here lying to these women, telling them like, oh, like, I'll do anything for you. You're this, you're that, and in all reality, bitch, like, you're not worth a shit.
Which creates another problem is the guys who are willing to fucking go along with their bullshit and make it seem like, even if sometimes there are guys who do get like a baddie out there and they'll simp, like not even because they're trying to reach an end goal, but they'll simp because they're like, fuck, like, she's sexy, I'm trying to do what I need to do,
So she's jumped away from being 50, but she can't comprehend where you're coming from and never been called out on her bullshit. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's closer to raising grandkids than
oh my God,
than getting a real relationship.
La doña, like, pues.
Hey, I'm telling you. And and I think that, again, like I said, this is the reason why we're having this discussion today on this pod, because, men, wake the fuck up. There are so many of these types of women out there. I think in majority versus the opposite, which should be wholesome women. Wholesome women are not in majority anymore. You have more of this fuck shit going on. Women believe the lies they see on social media. It has their fucking brain so toxic that they think that it's okay to want all these things. Oh, it's okay to have a 6-foot fucking guy's 6-figure earner, but like, you do understand that you get with a high earner, a fucking handsome guy, this guy's gonna have options. If I, as a basic, normal, fucking average guy, has options, what makes you think that this guy who's much more richer, much more handsome, much taller, has it going on, is not going to fucking have options, and he's going to exercise
all the traits that make him who he is means that he's not going to put up with any fuckery, any type of bullshit, because he has options. He's worked his way up to where he is, and he's not, like you say, he's not going to put up with not even a little bit of the shit that normal men that have to put up with just because of the...
What's crazy is that women don't realize that the higher value guy that you get with, the more likely he is to be like, bitch, stay in your fucking place. They don't realize that. And then when they get with this guy, they're like, oh, why is he such an asshole? Like, like this is what you want.
And and there's different situations as well, bro. Like there's guys out there that, bro, like I mean, unfortunately, there's guys out there that won't work and take advantage of women, and they're so masculine, bro, that they don't even see it because they're so used to getting what they want or however they need to. And she's like, basically, if the guy's giving you attention and giving you sex and giving you that, you know what I mean? You look past the fact that he's not really worth the shit with no job, no this, no that. When in all reality, like he's no good. I'll stand my ground by saying that any motherfucker that doesn't have a job isn't worth the fucking shit, bro. Like nothing. You're not bringing any value to this world yourself or anybody around you.
Yep, I agree.
Let alone a relationship.
And that's why we were having this conversation off the pod. That I even myself sometimes I question whether or not I should date because I do have stuff that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. I have stresses, and I have financial struggles every now and again, and it's just because of the nature of our job. But at the end of the day, I would much rather go through all that shit alone than to try to like find somebody. But my point is that maybe sometimes I think to myself, maybe it's not the right time for me to date because I do have these things going on. And, a woman's not going to want to take me seriously if I have certain things that I'm having to deal with in life. But in all reality, that's not their responsibility to worry about that anyways. That's my responsibility. Let me take care of my shit. And if you can come in and like understand that it's not always going to be easy, then we're doing something right. You know what I mean? And I think as long as I'm not mentally unstable, I think you should be able to take that guy seriously. And, like I said, back to the point of it is like, sometimes I think I'm like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't date. Maybe, like sometimes money is tight and sometimes I can't afford to take them on a nice little, restaurant.
Yeah, especially for the women that actually deserve it. You know
exactly.
What I mean? Because they're like Ceci said, there are women out there that will appreciate you for what you bring and
the
what
small
you can,
things.
Yeah, the small things, but nowadays, unfortunately, the reality is that it's not. A lot of women are expecting a lot from a guy. And again, I don't blame you guys for wanting the best of a person, but you got to realize that, especially if you're like a single mom or if you have things going on in your life that don't really make you a stable person financially, emotionally, whatever the case is, then you should really take a look in the mirror and really say, should I be dating this guy? Should I even be putting myself in this situation? I take accountability. If you know that you're not fit to be dating and open yourself up to somebody, then just don't do it. You know what I mean? Do yourself and that other person a favor.
So I know we talked about this also off air. How do you feel about the women who are out there dealing with baggage, dealing with traumas, and still trying to like seek out top tier guys?
Well, I think, in my opinion, and like we were saying, I think all people, all genders, male, females, doesn't matter what it is, they need that one person to tell them the truth, to tell them when they're wrong, to tell them when they're acting stupid, to tell them when they're getting taken advantage of, to tell them all this shit and that person that you can be 100% open and 100% real with that person so you can get an honest opinion. And you obviously are opening up to this person because you trust them to a certain extent and everything. But again, it's just not right. I think that people need to really sit there and take accountability is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think a lot of women tend to hide behind this false narrative that they deserve the top tier guys, and in all reality, they don't deserve a motherfucking thing. And I think that it really takes a certain women to recognize when they're going through something and to fix that before they get into a relationship. And I genuinely think that as somebody who's trying to date, if you're single and you're trying to date, man or woman, you need to understand that if you are not whole with yourself, there's no way you can give yourself to somebody else. No way. Because what's going to end up happening is all the traumas and things that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, now you're just going to be projecting that onto your partner, and they're just not going to be happy. It just creates a recipe for like disaster. And I think it's really important, as even like I check myself all the time, bro. I never want to go into any type of relationship with like stresses or like traumas or like I've made it a point to always figure out what's internally bothering me as a guy, as a man, like, and once I fix that within myself, then I'm okay to date, you know. And I could honestly say, like, right, like I told you earlier, right now in my current state of life, I am completely content with not having no woman in this house and doing my own thing because not one day in my life am I ever depressed, overly upset, thinking about harming myself. None of that shit. Like, I am very mentally stable. Nobody really dictates my emotions for me. I dictate how I feel. Sure, I might go through some stresses. Sure, I might go through some financial hardship. Sure, I might go through, you know, dating and like realizing that these women ain't shit. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm content, bro. Like, I'm happy. As a person, as an individual, I am very happy with who I am as a person. And nobody's ever going to change that for me, bro. And I think that's really important if you're trying to date. Because at the end of the day, like, if nobody's adding to that happiness, again, they're not the person that you really want to deal with. Because if they're bringing you down and bringing you into an emotional state where you're starting to question, like, are you happy? Like, that's a problem to me. And so I think for me, I would much rather live in this house by myself, nobody in here, and have, you know, my times where I need to get what I need to get versus having somebody come in here and just fucking bringing me down, bro. I refuse.
Yeah. Nah, I respect that, man, and you have a point, bro. Because again, you might want to call it lonely, you might want to call it whatever it is, but it's called freedom, peace of mind. You know, just the whole peace at home that you get. And unless you find that, you know, right woman or whatever, I mean, even when you find the right partner, you know, naturally you guys will get tired of each other.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
each other's
it happens
presence.
like
It's
that.
only natural, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you have a mutual understanding of how you guys act, you know, how you guys get back together, you know, how you, I mean, an agreement, you know, and it works for some people and it works different for other people. But again, I respect the fact that I can honestly admit to yourself that you have that peace of mind in your home. You don't stress about hurting somebody. You don't stress about anything that, you know, has to do with anything other than yourself.
Yep.
You know, you only have that one person to worry about.
Man, I'm telling you what, hey, welcome back. You're missing some of the good stuff, Jennifer. You know, I think it's super important to like know yourself as a man and what your standards are and, you know, what you want out of a woman. Because if you don't even know what you want from a woman, why are you even dating? Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, you, again, like I said, mentally sound, mentally stable. If that's who you are as a man, go ahead and date. If you're not making that much money, let that person know, like, look, I'm not the richest guy, but I will absolutely take you on a little lunch date, maybe go walk after the fact and get to know you. That's what I can provide for you. If she's with that, then she's a real one. If she's not, she's only looking for one thing, is what you can provide for her. And I think that's something that we have as men, we have to recognize. You have to know how to see those things right off jump, because women will absolutely, not all, again, majority of women in this day and age will absolutely take advantage of you if you let them.
Yeah.
And I will say, look, I've said it earlier. I know personally, some people even in this chat, that there are great women out there. That there are some people who really want a person to be there for them and like have a lifelong partner who doesn't have a hidden agenda, who doesn't need the high earner, the 6 foot guy, you know, like, she's content with finding somebody who's just going to love her.
Yeah.
There are real ones out there, and I can honestly say that. And, you know, sometimes even like, bro, like I've had moments where I've met a girl, I'm like, damn, she's too good for me. Like, maybe not like in terms of like physicality or how she looks, more so like where she is financially and like, you know, stability and those kind of things. I'm like, damn, like I'm kind of going through it right now. Like, who am I to come into her life and put like my financial burdens or my, you know, whatever I'm going through at the time on her when she's good, you know? Like, so I question, there's times where I'm like, you know, I'm not doing so great financially. Let me not like try to like go out on dates right now or try to meet people. So I'd rather stay at home and just like, and sometimes that comes off as like not interested. So, you know, you got to pick and choose how you fucking,
Yeah.
you know. But either way, see, like I said, this topic is important for us to have because people got to recognize when. Hey, if you guys are before I go into the next thing, if you guys are in here, man, hit the heart button, smack that like button. It absolutely helps us.
What are you doing?
We get to share it to more people. We are almost at 1,500 or 1,500 like or subscribers. So you guys share the video if you got it. Hit that like button. It really helps us. So, but and appreciate all the ones who are in here who always show up. We appreciate you guys every single time.
You know who you are.
Yeah. So, I think it's important as men to really like try to help men. This is why we started the podcast, is to really help the men who are struggling mentally, who are going through it, like trying to figure out why women won't take them seriously or why they can't get a baddie. I think the ugliest of men could get a baddie, no problem. You just got to be confident.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself the most handsome guy in the world at all, but I am very confident about the person who I am. And I will always stand on that because nobody's ever going to tell me otherwise. But either way, you want to touch on another topic or?
We touched on it a bit, but I think that it goes hand in hand. I mean, obviously, sometimes with dealing with unstable women, but I think it's just tough to say because when looking at it through your perspective, having the experience you have dealing with so many women and so many relationships and, going as far as you have and all that, these men that don't have the same experience as you, they are not able to see these things right off the bat.
Yeah.
They're misguided in the actions that these women are doing by giving them attention, agreeing to go out with them, and don't get me wrong, guys. Like, it feels amazing when a guy agrees to go out with you. Obviously, you guys are gonna be seen together. You guys, you're gonna be in her presence. Maybe get to sit next to her or whatever the case is, man. But nowadays, I don't know if it's because of the age, how old we've gotten, and all the things that we've seen, bro. But I think that the problem is that even guys our age are playing the same stupid game that these women play, where they're just not taking them seriously and they can't see that. And and I think it's, like I said, it's wrong for the women to do that, obviously, but I think it's even more wrong for the man not to realize that when a girl's interested and not interested in you, and the fact that you're so blinded by the fact that she's willing to give you a little bit of attention, you're willing to give your all to her, money, time, energy, resources, all that shit. And like I said, you just got to be wise who you pick and choose to give yourself to. You know what I mean? And if the girl's not reciprocating the same type of energy that you're giving her, then you should really sit there and realize, I'm obviously like not what she's looking for. Let me not waste her time and my time.
Or money.
But guys won't do that nowadays.
Most guys simp these days.
Exactly. They would rather like, okay, well, maybe like take her out a nice dinner. That wouldn't work. Okay, well, let me take her out of town now. Or let me take her to a show. Like, it just gets better and better.
It's crazy, Lou? A guy can literally get the same result from a woman, because we all know what they want. We can get the same results from a woman by being more direct, not spending any money, and being real. Like, if you can do that without being a simp, then I think that creates, as fucked up as that's going to sound. What is a simp for old folks in the back?
Is a simp for old folks in the back?
Wait, you really don't know, Jennifer? Damn, that's crazy.
Oh, wow.
All right. So basically a simp is essentially a guy who will waste any amount of money, basically conform to your every needs, and do whatever it takes, whether it's to either get sex or a relationship or whatever it is he's trying to get. He has an agenda. That's essentially the male version of what women are doing right now. And so simping, when a guy simps, is basically we're feeding into what these women want, giving them the attention, the nice experiences, the luxury trips, this and that. And most of the times these guys do all this shit and don't even get what he really wants, which is sex. A lot of times they'll do all this shit just to get to the sex and then not get it, and then realize that this girl was just playing you the whole time. And that becomes a problem for the actual men who are out here really trying to find something, really trying to be grounded with one woman.
Yeah, because once they get done with one simp, they're gonna move on to the next one.
next one.
You know what I mean? And it's just a cycle that's just gonna keep on going and going and going because they, like I said, they don't see anything wrong with it. They're gonna have simps left and right no matter what. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with what we're trying to make men realize, like, stop doing that stupid shit.
Yeah.
If a girl has not, like, let's just say you ask her out, you go on a date, and she doesn't at least make plans for a next one and give you a kiss and all that shows that she had a great time or whatever.
Yeah.
She just takes advantage, takes your food, even takes food to go. You know what I mean? Like,
Which is
bro,
the reason why men now are like, you know what, I'm just trying to fuck. Like, that's what it's created.
She's what? Just jumping in. Hey, what up, Kathy?
What up, Kathy?
Sipak.
Good to see you, CPAC. And
can
Jennifer
a
said, "Can a
female
female
simp?
be a simp?"
I think so. I think it's possible, but more than likely it's the men doing it.
I think chances are, if you're an attractive woman, you won't be a simp.
Oh yeah, no, you don't even know what that means.
Yeah, if you're an attractive woman, you don't know what a. I
Yeah.
mean, hate to call you out, Jennifer, but you didn't
Yeah,
even know.
she
what
didn't
a
even
simp
know what
was,
that
so
meant.
Clearly, you're not.
Yeah, you're not dealing with that kind of issue.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Is it possible for a woman to be a simp? I don't think so, man, because I think women know that men want them.
I wouldn't necessarily say impossible. We know about a certain situation where certain females are, in my opinion, paying for attention.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I think it's kind of harsh to say, but these women are probably overweight. You know, just
Damn.
not the ideal woman that, you know. I mean, call it what it is, you know, like.
Maybe it is possible.
So it is possible. I'm not saying that's.
I think unlikely, but possible.
Yeah, unlikely. There you go. So I think it is possible though, Jen. I mean,
I think women know what they got between their legs, and I think they use that to their advantage. No offense to women who are not doing that, but I'm just saying a lot of women know that their value comes from their virtue, and I think they know that most guys want to have sex, so they use that to their advantage. They get the nice dates. They get the, I need my nails done this week. Can you help me out? Oh,
that
I got
cuchara power,
bro. Like that shit is fucking real, man. And guys will do whatever the fuck it takes,
ese pinche hachazo,
bro, to get up in there, man. Like, and you know, this is where the simps are created, man. Like, because if
very deep.
Yeah, man. Fuck all that, man. I refuse to. I refuse to fucking spend my money on a girl who really sees nothing with me other than a great time.
Yeah.
You know, I won't do it. And hey, this again, it creates the guy that has become who I am now. Like, the fact that I can only see most women these days for just sexual value, and I don't see any good in women anymore, tells you how far I've come, like, from being the nice guy.
Yeah.
And again, ladies, if you guys want to change this narrative, start taking the nice guy seriously. Like, that's all it takes. Start taking a nice guy seriously. He doesn't have to be fucking 6-figure earner, fucking 6 foot tall, handsome. He doesn't have to be that. Start taking these normal guys, average wages, the short warriors out there.
Yeah,
you know,
and
take it
ladies,
seriously.
And ladies, if you're a high earner, just know that comes with consequences. You know, the chances are that the guy's not going to be making as much as you, so you're going to have to deal with that cold reality that he's not going to be making a lot more than you.
You're naturally going to be more masculine.
You're going to want to make most of the decisions because
you're the one making the money.
You're the one making the money. So, you know, again, like, ladies, you guys don't see these things. You don't think about these things, but, you know, you're only hurting yourselves. I mean, feminism has literally, like, completely fucked you guys over. Like, it's
brainwashed a lot of women.
Yeah, it's bad.
Feminism has really been like the downfall of dating and marriages. And, you know, I know it sounds fucked up for us to say because we're men speaking on it, but the reality is we, ladies, we've said this on pods many times. You guys don't have to go and date us. We have to go and date you. So we see the fuck shit that you guys are doing. You guys are just living it.
I say don't go all in right away. Go on the simple date. Get to know the person. Truly, then you can go all in if you think it's worth it.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree. And, you know, I want to elaborate on that, Jen.
Go ahead.
The reality is most men try to do that. It's just that a lot of women won't accept that as a first date anymore. You've seen the list when it came out. Apparently, Spaghetti Factory and Cheesecake Factory and all these other nice places that were usual, typical dating spots are no longer okay. Now you have to go to Soho. Now you have to go to fucking Hawaii.
Boa.
You know what I mean? We agree with you, Jen, 100%. But the problem is that most women these days in this, especially if they're a little bit younger than
Major
you,
cities like LA too.
yeah, and even worse that there are 43-year-olds, not you, Jen, because you might have missed the story earlier, but there are 43-year-olds expecting that high value treatment but bring nothing to the fucking table. Nothing. And that's scary. And this is what we have to deal with. And again, I'll say it like I just said right now. You women don't have to date us. We have to date you. We have to understand what you want, what you like, what you need. You guys don't have to figure that out. So
Let me see. Scooby said feminism became what it should have never been. Facts.
That's crazy.
Let me see what she
how many
said.
females have you been with?
that are
what you were saying. Okay,
saying.
I see what you're asking. I can tell you right now the reason why I'm single is because all of them.
Oh man.
I mean, if I was not single, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But the reality is we're having this conversation because, all right, let me not say it. 95% of the women who I've talked to in the past 3 years have been identical. Identical. They might not show them colors right away, but give it a few dates and then you start seeing it. So I think all of them. And it's a scary market out there. So, but I will say there is a small 5% of women who I've talked to that really understand, really appreciates a man for what they offer and what they bring to a relationship, and allow them to be leaders, allow them to be masculine, and in turn they become feminine. But I think the reality is most men or women nowadays are masculine and have no idea how to be feminine. And I think that's the dynamic we have now. More masculine women, more feminine men. And let's be real, ladies, you don't want that. But again, like I said, if you guys would have, not y'all personally who are watching, but if women in the past 15, 20 years would have taken the nice guy seriously, we wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Let me see what she said. Can you say a Michelin star restaurant? Let me see. If all you bring is kitty, then you're going to be taken at face value. Hey.
Look, and the crazy thing is all men want the kitty. We all want it, but why does my camera keep moving, yo? I keep having to like move more and more further right. Just, but what was I saying? The kitty. Yeah, most men want it, and I think you guys, ladies, do yourselves a favor and understand that most men want it, and you know what you should really consider is like not the fact that we want it, but what else does he bring to the table? Like, is he actually a good guy? Does he have family values?
Is he gonna bring value to your life?
Yeah, just like we said to us, like you ladies have to bring us value, so we have to in turn provide the same.
And again, I'll say it again, none of that bullshit that I cook, I clean. That's horseshit.
That's something you should do anyways.
You should do that regardless. You know what I mean? And when basically what, in my opinion, men just look for respect. You know, loyalty. You know, appreciation. We're so like easy to please, so easy to keep happy, man. Like, believe me, like if you were to just, and again, if you just suck his pee-pee once a day, I could completely guarantee you that man would do anything wake up to that, go to sleep to that. That's all you need to do, and we'll do anything. We'll die for you.
Damn, hopefully none of y'all are listening to this at work out loud.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro, it's a fact.
You might get canceled.
Hey, try waking your man up to that, that Haktua and see what happens.
Hey, whatever happened to her?
Bro, man, she's a scammer, bro. She's a super scammer.
Yeah, I heard about that. As an adult, male or female, you should be cooking and cleaning for yourself. Agreed.
Yeah,
100%.
We just said exactly.
Bro, I just made my boy Lou some fucking salmon, some white rice, and some veggies. Fire. And I can tell you right now, as a man, I know how to cook for myself. Man, my house stays clean all the time. Nobody comes and changes me as a guy. Like I'm fully capable of taking care of myself, so I don't need a woman.
Yeah, well,
but do I want one? Absolutely,
we all do.
But again, like I said, I won't settle for somebody who just
And you shouldn't. I mean, as you
I won't.
shouldn't. Honestly, like I said, you've gotten to a point where you know what you're worth, bro. You know what you can provide, and it's like I said, in my opinion, it's a hell of a fucking lot. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Anybody would be lucky.
She says she got her headphones on, lose safe.
Oh, I appreciate you. My
I was
bad.
gonna
You know, I
say,
don't really
'cause
think
my boy's
about
saying
it.
some raw
You
shit
know,
right now.
it's the arrogant bastard. I'm sorry. Look at this. I have a problem.
Oh man, but yeah. I mean, ladies, we're just like Lou said. We're very simple. We're not hard to understand. We just need basic things. Respect goes a long way for us. Like respect the fact that we are men and we don't like being told how to be. But if you can really come at us with like a way of speaking to us without like basically chastising us or condemning us for being a certain way, like we'll sit and listen.
Yeah.
We're not hard to like. We're not hard of hearing. We are capable of understanding, and we're not trying to be dicks to y'all. But us as men, it's in our DNA to just be men. Like we don't like authority figures telling us how to be.
Yeah, it's
we
like
are the authority.
It's like I think about Kitty constantly. But again, that's just speaking on a male's perspective, man. Like I mean, ladies, I mean, I'm speaking for myself. Like it doesn't take much for a guy to find you very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You could look a certain way, smile at us, look at us or wink at us, whatever it is, man. Guys man, believe me,
We're dogs.
Yeah, it's really, really hard self-control.
We are dogs. Just imagine if what our grandmothers and great grandmothers had. Damn, the chat went up. Wait, she deleted it?
Wait, what happened?
Oh no, wait. Yeah, she did delete it. Damn, I was just reading it, Adrian. What the
Yeah,
heck?
I don't know.
Something about great grandmothers. Yeah, ladies, I think essentially what this pod is really about is yes, it's helping men. We're trying to help men, not simp, and show them how to move and navigate through dating women. And guys, if you guys have any questions on what I should rewriting it. If you guys have any questions on what I've dealt with and how I've gotten through it or how I've figured out how to like understand women a little better, hit me up. I got you. I will absolutely tell you guys some shit. I'll give it to you real, and I'll tell you what. If sex is all you're trying to get, I'll tell you how to do that. If you're really trying to get in a relationship with somebody, I'll tell you how to do that too.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, as a man, be an actual man. Like, don't. If you got shit that you got to take care of in your personal life, take care of it. If you got financial shit you're trying to struggle through and you're really not ready to date, then take care of that first before you date. Like, understand that as a man, if you're ready to date, you have to be ready to date. You can't just fucking want a girl
all the way.
Yeah, like, look, we are telling ladies take these normal, nice guys seriously, but again, men, you also have to bring value too. Like, women are not the only ones. Imagine if your great grandmothers and your grandmas would have act like this. Current women are. Half of us wouldn't even be here.
That's true.
Yeah. And like, ladies, you might not like it, but virtue is important to us. Like, don't be promiscuous. Just be loyal,
If you're over 10 bodies, then you might as well just give up.
Damn.
I'm just saying. Double digits.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Women would never say their true body count anyways. Yeah. And that tells you right there that virtue is important.
Yeah.
Because if it's such a big problem for you to tell us how many bodies you've had, and it's frowned upon, that your value comes from that virtue.
Yeah.
Grandpa wouldn't have wifed that up. Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't have wifed it up either.
Yeah, man.
But either way, again, we're trying to bring value to men and women. And I think it's important to have these types of discussion and talk about, what we deal with. Exactly, because men be leading on what? On an balloon that is... Damn, that fucking glare. It's the glare.
Exactly, because men be leading and then, boom, they're not interested no more. Or they get caught talking to more than one at the same time.
Ooh, let's talk about that. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. So... Maybe not you, Kathy, but so you're gonna tell me that you haven't entertained one or more than one guys at the same time? Because I'm not saying this is what you've done. I'm just saying that women exercise their options more than men do, because women have way more options than men do. So because we're exercising one or two or three, y'all have like 20. So let's not skew the lines here. The reality is women don't have to do anything other than look good for a guy to hit them up in their DMs. So let me ask you, Kathy, and I'm not trying to call you out in any way, shape, or form because you're my friend. I'm curious. So you're telling me that you've never once entertained multiple guys at the same time? Maybe not messing with them physically, but like at least talking to multiple of them in your DMs, like possibly.
And yes, if you
something.
just say hi and you say you were friends, that's still
flirting, any of it.
And it goes back to us saying like there's no such thing as guys having girlfriends, because if the guy's acting like your friend, he wants something.
Mm-hmm.
He needs something, and he's willing to put up with whatever and anything that he needs for you to give him that opening. And that's just me telling you the truth.
Yeah, and as far as like what you're saying, them leading on and they're not interested, that's upon you as a woman to understand. This is why I say men understand women, women don't understand men. You have to understand what this guy is trying to do. So for you to understand what's going on and whether or not this guy is just trying to fuck, that's up to you to understand men's mentality, where they're coming from, recognize the patterns that they do, and then you wouldn't get fucked over. You'd be like, nah, he's just trying to get pussy. And chances are more and you got another thing that you should really understand. 80% of men are trying to get just pussy.
It happened to my friend. She was into this guy and he was leading her on, and then she caught him talking to her friend.
Damn, he went savage, bro.
That's crazy.
He went, yeah. So he went.
That's dirty.
You take it personal, like when you go and talk to a friend. But look, whose fault is it really? Is it her friend or him? What do you think?
Her friend?
Yeah,
if her friend knew that she was talking to him, why is she talking to him?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, who's really the bad guy here?
Who's really the bad guy here? Is it the guy? Because, I mean, a guy's always going to exercise his option. If he's got them, he's going to exercise them. And again, like I said, ladies, try to take a moment to understand how men are. Like, we don't get hit up in abundance by women. So when we have 2 or 3 of them, we're like, fuck yeah, we're that nigga. You know what I mean? And we're going to act on it. We're like, I'm about to hit her up, take her out on Monday. I'm going to go on Wednesday with this one. You know, like, if we can do that and we can financially sustain that, we'll do it. But
men will call women Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know, just know that there are men out there that will treat women as such.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, unfortunately, I'm not saying your friend's a bad person, but, or her friend was a bad person, but clearly her friend was not.
Obviously, he was dirty for doing that.
Yes, he was
to
fucked
his
up.
friend. But in all reality, I mean, let's take accountability as women.
I'm sure she knew he was talking to her too.
Exactly.
So, like, come on now. Yeah. So, yeah, we're not saying that men should do this, but we're just saying majority of men will do this. And again, we're just exercising our option, and I think women do it more than men. I think they just do it behind closed doors, behind DMs. We don't know about it because women's virtue comes from how promiscuous they are. So if they're more promiscuous, they're not virtuous. So naturally you're gonna hide that kind of thing. Hey, I mean, I'm just saying they're they're going to hide it much more than we do, and they're going to exercise those options while we're not looking. The reality is if one guy checks off the box, the other options go away. But let's be real, most guys don't check off the boxes, so most women have options. So it's just facts, man.
It's
like,
tough, man. It's tough,
real.
man. It's just like, ladies, like if you would only like imagine what the kind of things that we have to deal with, and have to be able to do just to get your attention. And this is just your attention.
This is why we're shedding the light on it.
You know what I mean? It's not even to get into your pants or nothing. This is just for us being cool with you and enough to show you some type of, value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. For real.
For real. It was so random because her and her friend ended up clicking back up after a couple years. They decided to go out to dinner. Conversation were brought up and his name came up, and boom,
they're like, damn, you dated him too?
Damn.
The name
and he got caught
up. Fuck, that's crazy. Savage ass.
What a pimp.
Yeah, he's yeah, he was doing something.
Well, the fact that he could get 2 friends at the same time without them not knowing, it's wild.
It's even worse because some niggas out there will fucking find sisters and just go damn.
Wow, you're crazy.
They would be savages, bro.
He was savage.
What do you think about that? Getting to know multiple people and the getting to know phase. Okay, so I think for women, from a man's perspective, I think the more guys you talk to, the more unlikely we will be willing to like talk to you, because it just shows that you really don't, you're not really looking for one specific person. You're just looking for the best suitor, so to speak. You're just looking for the best option. Who's the best? I think for men, most times out of none, when we have options, it's just who we're trying to smash. You know, I don't think it's necessarily who we're trying to get with. You know,
That's a good way to put it.
You want to speak on it?
No, I think you said it pretty good. I mean, it's just we, like he said, we don't have the same options as women. You know what I mean? So we just kind of pretty much line them up and to see who's gonna give
Who's
us
willing to smash.
Yeah, who's willing to smash. You know, it sounds fucked up, but that's how most men operate. You know what I mean?
Hey, we're giving it to y'all raw.
Unless you find that one guy that's dedicated to you and is actually showing you, proving to you with his actions that he's all about you. But if you just guys kind of going into that, getting to know phase or whatever, you just got to expect, same as you. He's probably not the only dude that you're giving attention to. Maybe you're giving a little extra to him, but at the same time, you're still entertaining this other guy. Same with other guys, especially, you know, if if they're wrist gods.
I'll tell you like this: if I was talking to a girl and I found out she had multiple guys that were trying to take her out, and she was essentially going on those dates with the multiple guys, I probably wouldn't take her seriously. Like I'd probably be like,
it's a red flag.
Yeah, because to me it's like you're. Again, this is a double standard because men do it all the time, but again, I think we do it more for a physicality thing versus actually like really trying to be with somebody. But again, we're men, we're dogs. Like we want sex all the time, so like, especially if you're single, you know. But it really is frowned upon for a woman because we expect that virtue out of you. We want you to not be promiscuous. We want to be the only guy you're talking to, you know.
There's only so much we can depend on Manuela.
Yeah, man.
You know.
You ever heard of Bob?
Bob? No.
Battery operated boyfriend.
Oh damn. Damn, y'all must love Bob.
Hey,
is that why you like Bob's Burgers? Jesus Christ. I didn't know that.
Have you heard of Hog?
No.
Hand operated girlfriend.
Oh God. Jesus Christ.
Hey man, I'll tell you what, I'd much rather deal with Hog than to fucking deal with a delusional fucking high standards fucking trauma based like girl, like 100%.
Yeah.
Hate to say it like that, but you know, and again, back to the reason why we end up just wanting to smash girls, because most of these women have like way too much shit going on in their life. They're not ready to deal with me. You know, if you want to date me, like come with a mental, sane, sound mind, because I won't deal with you outside of that. He don't mess with that, Bob.
Oh God.
Man, well, we know you don't. You got a man. But either way, I think it's crazy like that we have to have these types of discussion.
But it's good that we do, bro, because a lot of people aren't aware, and especially women, bro, that, you know, they really don't. I mean, and I don't blame them. They don't think, they're not guys, so they're not gonna think like us, bro. They're not realizing the type of shit that we have to go through.
We're giving you guys gold,
you know. So I mean, I think you guys should take this, you know, and kind of like really take a quick step back, especially if you're talking to somebody or whatever, man. Like really think about it. Like, you know, is this guy really into me? Is this guy really serious about me? Or whatever the case is, whatever you're feeling for a certain individual. I mean, you know, really analyze every angle about it. You know what I mean?
Bro, I want so badly to take a woman seriously these days. I just can't find the way to do it anymore because they come with so much shit. Like, you know, and I'm obviously not perfect because I'm single now. But I've been married. I've had many girlfriends, and every single one of them like have some way of just like making me realize like you are not the one. You are not that person. Like, you know, and
I think you're just a lot more comprehensive when you go into these relationships nowadays, you know what I mean? Because of just the past, call it trauma or whatever, you know? But I mean, it just makes you more aware, you know?
But that's why I pose the point. Like, at some point, is it too picky for me to be like I know we talked about it not too long ago, but like, bro, I sometimes I really think I'm like, damn, like am I just being way too picky, like to the point where it's like I don't even want to deal with this shit anymore. Like it almost seems easier to just be single for the rest of my life and just like smash when I need to smash and then just be done. Like because I just bro, it's like I find like small little things. I'm like, nah, fuck that. You know what I mean? Just because you're married doesn't mean you're perfect either.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
I mean, no, absolutely. I mean, um, I I'm a cold-hearted believer that no relationship is perfect. You guys are always gonna have disagreements, always gonna have ups and downs. You know, gonna go through certain things or whatnot. But the fact that you guys are willing to communicate about it and try to work it out and build your relationship more stronger. I think that's what makes a strong relationship and makes a person, you know, worth fighting for. You know, if he's actually putting in that work, that he's actually trying. You know, same as women. If you're actually trying and you're actually trying to change, for the better of, not for him, but for yourself, to make yourself a better woman, a better mom, whatever the case is. I think that that's, you know, it's a teamwork thing. It's not just the I. You know, especially when you guys are married. You know.
Yeah. You know, even to this day, man, I don't think I'm perfect. I don't think I don't think I'm the best man I can be. I'm actively working every day to be that guy. And I think that's important for any party in the relationship to try to be like man or woman. You should actively work on being the best of yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing that, I think you're focused on the wrong thing.
But I think if you're married to the right person, that naturally you're
It's
gonna
easier.
motivate them to do the same thing as you guys are doing, because that's the whole reason why you guys are together. You guys bond on a certain level where you guys can, you know, literally spend time doing the things that you guys like to do. I mean, whether it be gym, whether it be, you know, hanging out
I was just
watching
about to
movies
say something
or whatever. You know,
about that.
you guys can always have that, you know, that special bond.
So, question for you, and excuse me, this question came because I had a conversation with Jennifer. What do you think is a healthy amount of separation time in a relationship versus spending time in a relationship? So, like, you just mentioned gym, you know, things that we all like to do. Do you think, for example, we're gamers. So, what's a healthy amount of time to spend on your game and then spend time with your family or, you know, like in our case, like we do podcasting. So, I know I spend a good portion of my week working on the pod, like creating thumbnails, things like that. So, what's a healthy amount of like balance between it?
Well,
And do you
are
think
we speaking on like terms of like already being married to the person or in a
both
relationship?
let's just say you're already in a relationship living together.
Well, I think, in my opinion, a healthy time for, I would say, a couple hours. You know, two minimum. You
Yeah.
know, it's just for you to do something that you appreciate doing for yourself and you enjoy doing for
Yeah.
yourself. I think that's a healthy, you know, amount of time. You know, other than that, I think you're just gonna be a little bit too selfish and a little self-centered about yourself. That you need more time and more space for yourself, which is then I think what's obvious here is that you really don't want to be in this relationship. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because somebody that's with you and that's all about you is gonna respect your space and the time that you want by yourself, but at the same time, is gonna have the expectations of obviously spending time together.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I think
From
hey,
Connecticut. What's up,
Wasito?
Wesito?
Hey, Wasito, be safe out there for one, but make sure now that you're in here, hit that like button. If
Hurry
anybody's
up.
in here and has not hit that like button, help us out, man. But
CPAC, that goes for you. Jen, Scoop.
but
Come
glad
on.
to have you in here, Wasitos. You know, I always talk to you every day, but always good to see you when you drop in here. So, but yeah, I agree. Like I think it's important for people in relationships to be able to do the things that they actually like to do outside of being in the relationship. Like I think it's really healthy to have your own hobbies and the own things that you like to do on your own outside of having to do it with your spouse. Because let's be real, sometimes you don't want to have to do shit with somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes you need that alone. I think alone time is just as good as being together because there's times where you just don't want to talk about something. There's times where you just don't want to deal with something.
And you know, and I think, and some females might not even say it. And you know, like just like our job, bro, we go out of town. you know, I'm sure sometimes, you know, for Scoop, it's a relief for me to be gone, and
She's like,
you know,
thank God.
like it's just it's natural, you know what I mean? Especially if you get that peace of mind, you know, you get that time alone, you know, you get to spend that time watching your favorite show because he's not here, you know, it's all wealth and good and healthy, man.
So CPAC said, yes, we all need time alone, but suffocate me with your presence. Okay. So that's actually a good point. I think, what do you think is enough suffocation? Because I think not all women want you constantly over. I think I really don't believe in signs, like zodiac signs and shit, but I think, some of the references that they have can be true. But yeah, I think people tend to have different ways of being. Some women don't like you being all over them. And I'll give you a great example. My ex-wife did not like me going up behind her and smacking her ass and like like not even groping, but just like, being lovey-dovey with her. Like that's my wife. Like, why wouldn't I want to, like, you know touch on her and like let her know she's beautiful, or like lay on her? Like, she didn't like that kind of stuff. She didn't like when I would just go sit on the couch next to her and lay on her lap. Like, she was like, your beard is bothering me. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So like, what?
See what she said? Well, yes, we all need a long time, but suffocate. Oh, you just read that one.
Yeah, I don't think there's a time frame. You just have to be mindful of others' needs. I agree. So, yeah, I think that's actually a really good point too. You should be very mindful, especially if you're living with somebody that they need your attention to. That your mind shouldn't just be on all your extracurricular activities. You know what I mean?
I completely agree. You know, it's just I think that it's all good if you handle your business, you know, go to work, you know, be a mom and all that. But at the end of the day, you know, don't forget, you know, the partner that you're with, the one that's helping you through all this stuff, you know, whether it be financially, the time, whatever, you know, show a little bit of appreciation to that. I think that it's always healthy for you to, I mean, I'm not saying that, or, you know, like be all crazy in love with him, but I'm just saying, you know, give him a hug, let them know, you know, make sure that they're aware that they're appreciated.
Yeah, agreed. I agree, and like I think women need
Just let me
the
play pickleball all day.
yeah, I've seen that.
Pickleball.
I think women need naturally more attention than we do. So I think sometimes men get caught up in like doing their own shit, and they're like, she'll be all right. I'm gonna go sleep with her tonight in bed anyway. She'll see me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But sometimes they need more than that. I think they need conversation. They need to know that you're there, mind, body, soul. I think it's showing attention in all aspects is really important in your relationship. Again, like I said, if you guys are trying to be in a relationship, understand that your attention is no longer just about yourself anymore. You have to give up your attention to somebody else too. Make sure you're cognizant of the fact that she's there. She needs your attention. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, just like Jennifer said, let her play pickleball, damn it.
Hey, do what you do. I ain't got no problem with
Hey
it.
man, I'll let you play pickleball. Just let me play my flight simulator. We're all good. You know what I mean? Don't be upset when I can't make it to work. Let me see. Presence and attention can mean different to men and women. Agreed. And I think this is important. What you just said right there. It's really important that ladies and men, you understand each other's love languages. Read 5 Love Languages. It's a really good book. But it's important to understand how to communicate with your partner and know what they need and expect out of you, and actively work to give that to your partner just the way they should for
And
you.
be willing to compromise on certain stuff, man. You know,
Some
because
things.
again, like this is a partnership, and again, we're men, we're supposed to lead or whatnot, but we're fully conscious of the needs that women also need, and obviously, it's more attention than we necessarily would want, but. You know, just do your part, man. You know, as a good person, as a good husband, boyfriend, whatever it is, man. You know, like we have to take accountability for everybody, us men.
Which gives me a really good question for you, Lou. What do you think is the type of attention you need from your woman for you to be happy on a day-to-day basis?
Physical touch, physical appreciation. Not necessarily having to hear it, but you know, hug here and there, little foot massage here. Just at least in my opinion, maybe sound a little too needy, but once a day, you know, give him a kiss, you know, sit on his lap, You know, again, suck his pee-pee. I mean, that's one of the fastest, easiest way to know that,
Fucking guy.
you know, you're being appreciated. I mean, and I'm just going to be straight up.
No,
But,
we want you to be real.
you know, but again, like, that's just, I think that,
It shocks me sometimes when I hear it.
yeah. Yeah, man, that's just how I feel about the whole, amount of appreciation and the ways that then women can show, because we're not looking for you to give us our favorite game console. We're not looking for you to get me a new hat. We're not looking for you to get me some shoes. We're not looking for that's not.
We don't need the expensive
We don't need
gifts.
the materialistic thing. We need the appreciation and attention of the female presence within us. You know.
Look, ladies, I'll give you guys a cheat code right now. Punch in the code right now so you guys get what you want. Literally, men really don't need much at all. We really don't. If you guys can give us the most basic things, we would be happy.
Facts.
It's just that simple. We don't need all this extra shit. We don't need the fucking high-end gifts. We don't even need you to create a gift.
Nothing.
Literally, the gift is you being naked at the end of the night. We would be happy. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. We would be happy. So, you know, don't feel like you need to like go through all this extra shit just to understand men. We're telling you right now what it is. For example, my ex, to him going to the movies, watching a show, was him spending time with me, quality time. To me, that was cool, but I wanted him to go out with me, take a walk, conversate with me. Okay. See, and that's so basic, man. Like, why?
Did you ever tell him that?
Yeah.
Did you ever communicate the fact that maybe sometimes, aside from doing what he liked, he should have been a lot more considerate of the type of stuff that you wanted? You know what I mean? That was the whole, that's the whole like thing about being in a relationship. You know, it's not just one-sided.
Communicate
You know,
it.
communication, you know, he should have known better to know that maybe this is cool for you, but it's not ideal for your perfect date.
Shipper,
Yeah,
yep.
well, then, yeah, he's just a
then
dick
he was
then.
just fucking up.
Yeah.
He was not doing his part, in
Yeah.
other words. Yeah, I mean, and look, I agree. So those things right there, like, if those are staples that you need in your life, then make sure those are things that is communicated right off jump. And that's why I say 5 Love Languages is a really good book. It really helps you understand your partner, because even though we're complex creatures, at the core of us, we have basic things that we need. And communicating with each other and letting each other know what we need out of your partner is super important. So I think if you're really trying to understand your loved one, you know, take the time to understand how
Pay
each other
attention, man.
communicates.
You know, listen, and obviously don't just ask a question just because you know you want to seem interested. Like, actually ask a real question where you're gonna understand where she's coming from, what you can do to keep this relationship going. You know what I mean? Especially if you're really serious about it and you want to take the next step with that person. You know what I mean? You got to know each other's flaws. You got to know each other's what people like, what they don't like. You got to know absolutely everything before you get serious get into either moving in or getting married or having a baby. You know what I mean? Because all those things are game changers. Everything changes
And
after that.
I'll call us out as men too, bro. Men have a bad tendency. I'm out. Be back. Hey, enjoy your day at work. We appreciate you for stopping in, and thank you for asking all the questions you did. It really does mean a lot. Have a great rest of your day. But I was gonna say, men have a bad tendency to listen, but not really listen, and I think that is a big part of men's downfall, is that we will sit there and like hear you talking, but we're really not. It's just wah 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 wah
Yeah.
wah wah.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem that most men have. So I think being able to actively listen versus just listening, I think that's really important for most men to do. And I'm calling us out because I've done it. I know you've done it. There's been so many times.
Put your hand down. Don't put your
There's
hand down.
been so many times this motherfucker.
Goddamn
I call him. I hit him up. I'm like, hey, this is what's happening for this week of work. He's like, all right, cool. And then I hit him up. He shows up. He's like, so what are we doing today? I'm like this. I'm like, why am I even talking? You know, if he does it to me, what makes you think he won't do it to his girl?
That's true.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, we got to recognize our faults too. You know, we're not perfect. We as men have to actively work and like be better. You know, so if we're preaching to y'all about what y'all ladies need to do, we need to do our part too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's just one of them, like, that I could recognize in myself, and I know you can attest to it. Like, you know, actively listening is important.
Yeah.
But also understand that sometimes when y'all go on about bullshit that we don't want to hear about, actively realize that we don't want to fucking hear about it.
When
You know what I mean?
when the story has no beginning, no middle, no end, and you're just saying shit just to say it, it's really. And I'm just gonna
like when the conversation's done, it's done. Like,
yeah,
don't
like
just
let
try to
it
keep
go.
going.
Come on, man. Like we've already moved past that. Like it
Just
doesn't
know
make
men
any
don't
sense.
even like to talk like that.
Exactly.
So you know,
We're straight to the point. If you got
Yeah,
something
we're
to say
very
to me,
straight to the
say
point.
it to me. Don't make me guess. I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, like don't go on this tangent about all this backstory shit. Like, just tell me, like, oh, so and so did this. Like, all right, perfect. Well, fuck, she shouldn't have did that.
Exactly.
Versus going like, oh, you won't believe like this happened, and then it just da 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 da. Like before you know, you're like 15 minutes in, you have not got to the point.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, man. You start talking about your friend, and then you go off about her boyfriend's brother and that how he works at Big Five, and I'm like,
So-and-so's cousin.
what does this have to do with anything you're telling me? You know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's tough.
Yeah,
but
like,
you know, it's
that's
just,
why we're not great communicators as
Yeah.
it is. You know, like because we're very like men are very direct and women are very indirect. You know, like. Actually, I was gonna comment on something CPAC said earlier. She told her friend like, let that shit go. That is the best fucking advice you can give your friend. As a friend, tell them straight up. Don't sit there and be like, oh girl, well, you know, just like tell him like you don't like that. Or, you know, like that's bad advice. Tell her leave that motherfucker because clearly he's no good. He's talking to you and your friend, so let him go.
fucking go.
Best advice you can give your friend.
fucking go.
So you know, like shit like that. Be real with people. Like understand, listen. You know, like. It's really not that hard, people.
Bro, dating two friends is diabolic, bro. That's
boy.
fucking.
My boy is a pimp.
That's godlike. Jesus.
Bro, the fact that they both didn't know until they went out
That's
together is
amazing.
crazy.
That's funny, bro.
They're like, oh, you know, damn. Imagine them having like a conversation, like, oh, you know, he has this on this butt cheek. Like,
Oh shit, man. Yeah, that would be embarrassing, bro.
fucking hey, you can't make this shit up. Man.
Yeah, man. Fuck. Wrap this shit up, boy.
Hey, yeah, man, we've been going for a little second now. It's been almost 2 hours. Man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, but you know, this just goes to show, man. Like this shit is near and dear to us. Like we really feel this shit. Like, you know, I know again, like I said, I know you've been out the dating game, but bro, you get to see it from my perspective all the time. I tell you,
It's
about
like a
all the
movie,
fuck
bro.
shit,
I'm telling you, it's like a whole fucking soap opera. Sometimes.
And we haven't. I've only told you guys maybe what 5 stories that I've dealt with. There's plenty more where that came from. Like,
Man,
we
keep tuning in to find out.
Yeah, man, we're gonna keep touching on this stuff, and it's going back to the reason why we have the mentality we have about women in the dating market nowadays. Because we don't just come up with this shit out of thin air. We don't just see shit on fucking YouTube and be like, oh yeah, I agree. We live it. We see it. We understand it. We have to recognize it to not get fucking played by some of these women. Like, look, y'all might be baddies, but just understand that where you came from, there's plenty more of y'all that will give it up for no problem, and we're gonna take advantage of that. But again, at the end of the day, we're trying to find our one. But you know, if you come off like a hoe, we're gonna treat you like a hoe. So figure it out.
3-0 foul.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you don't want to be treated like one, just come off respectable. Like, don't expect me to fucking dish out a shit ton of money on our first date. Like, you don't deserve that treatment, first of all. I don't even know you from fucking way back. So why the fuck would I dish out half my earnings for this week?
Said, and he is a victim, CPAC. He was the one spending double money on 2 different females. What are you talking about?
Oh, shit. He got victim, bro.
Oh, man.
I know his wallet was hurting.
For real, dog. Man. And having to worry about getting caught up because of friends, man. He's actually, man.
That's so funny.
Shout out, bro. Shout out to my boy, man.
Kathy, he's just fucking playing, man. We're over here joking, all right? We're jokesters.
Savage.
Look, yeah, you know, it's funny because most men will be like, oh, well, it's not even my fault.
Motherfuckers are savage.
That nigga was
bro.
a savage, bro.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
he's wrong for trying to be a victim, but
Yeah.
reality is, hey, man, look, if he's got money to be taking 2 women out, more power to you, bro. Because I can tell you right now that I cannot date multiple women right now because my wallet's not set up like that.
Yeah, nah.
My bank account will not sustain both of y'all at the same time, and me trying to just to get booty. Like, that's why,
Bro, I got 3 girls to worry about at home. There's no way.
Exactly. That's why I'm straight up like, look, you want to have fun? I got you. Like, I could take you on a nice date, but just know at the end of the day, I'm trying to fuck. And that's just simply because I don't need you as a woman. I don't need you in my life. So this is my solution to men. Be raw, be real. Don't necessarily be a dick, but be straight up, because being straight up, you will absolutely get what you want.
Yeah.
And this is just again, this is for the men trying to get the booty. But if you are trying to get in a relationship, understand that more comes along with just taking them out on a nice date.
Yeah.
You have to bring something to the table. You have to be mentally sound. So, you know, I know Kathy's like, hell no, I would never. Hey, you know what? But again, we are trying to be raw with you guys. We are trying to show you guys what most men
Are thinking.
Yeah, like most men are thinking this shit. Like, so don't think that I'm the only one. I'm just the only one that's real enough to tell you about it. I'm real enough to give it to y'all raw, like give you guys the cheat codes. This is literally cheat codes.
Yeah, and tell your
Listen to
friends.
what I'm saying. Listen to what Lou's saying. You will absolutely start weeding out the men who are really out here trying to do fuck shit versus the ones who's really trying to be with you.
Exactly.
And again, you know, I know it sounds fucked up for me to say these things, but the reality is like I said, if I was really trying to like settle down, when the right girl comes in my life, I'll know it. And I'll naturally change my ways because the reality is I don't want to be doing this fuck shit either. I don't want to have to be out there trying to just like be real with people and just to get, you know, booty. Like I'd much rather be with one person, settle down, and treating that one person right if I was being treated right. But the reality is most of these women don't treat me right, so you get fuck shit from me. That's the facts.
Wow.
Hey, I mean, look,
I felt your anger.
real be real. Like, don't fucking treat me like I'm just some type of fucking cash bag, and I won't treat you like you're just a fucking cum bag. It's just real facts.
Yeah, man.
Sorry to say it like that, but that's the truth.
It is what it is.
You know, I mean, there are men really trying to like find a good man or a woman. You know, like do what you need to do if you're really trying to find a good man and stop being a hoe.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you got bodies on you, if your Instagram has your ass out, if you got pictures of you in fucking Tulum 2 times a year, like you're not the girl that I'm trying to be with, because
Yeah.
there's no way you got out there on a fucking $15 income a month, an hour. I mean,
Like, bitch, you're a manager at a Foot Locker.
yeah,
how
like,
the fuck are you out
in
of the
Greece?
country?
How you in Tulum?
Yeah.
Like you went to Dubai and like, bro, I've never even. Yeah. Nothing else needs to be said, man. Like fucking A, man.
My
Like,
boy's flabbergasted. He don't even know what
it
to
just
say.
blows my mind that women like really.
Oh my god, that was
So,
funny.
and this is why we talk about what the fuck we talk
Oh
about.
god.
But you are following these types of women. Look, yes, to an extent. And Adrian, I know you get to see it because you know me. Yes, I might be following into these women, but the reality is I don't go into it thinking, oh, you know what, I'm just trying to smash her. The reality is you present yourself a certain way to me, I already know the type of woman you are. So why the fuck would I take you seriously if I already see the red flags? This is what I mean. I become picky, and there's a reason why I treat certain women a certain way. I could tell you right now that there's a couple women that I've talked to recently that know for a fact that I have not even once brought up sex to them. Once. Why? Because I don't see her that way. I recognize that she brings more value than just sex. But if you come to me talking about where are we going tonight, what do you think I'm going to say? To my fucking room.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not looking for what I can bring you as a person. You're looking for where I can take you, what I can give you, how much times I can help you with the wax. Yeah, I need to go.
You know what? I'm delirious right now. I haven't had breakfast. I had a beer. So I really don't know what I'm saying right now.
Look, we're just trying to be real with y'all and give it to you raw so that you understand how these men are thinking and, you know, how certain women's create us to be. So if you guys want better men out here, start being better women. Just that simple. And again, I'm not saying to the personal people I know, I'm just saying to the majority of women that we come across and deal with. You know, it's not, we're not just doing this fuck shit just because. I'm telling you, it's come from somewhere. Feminism is real. Fucking social media is really corrupting your guys' mind and making you thinking you are the absolute shit when you're not. You know what I mean? So let's be real with each other.
Hey man, if you know, whoever got that hot ear, you know, if the boot fits, wear it.
I love women, man. Like I absolutely want to treat one woman right, you know? But the reality is, man, I've come across a bunch of fucking 304s. And
it is what it is, Charles.
You know, and it's crazy because a lot of the ones that are saying, I'm just that girl, like I'm perfect. I I need a husband and this and that, but you're really out there not being that girl. You know, behind closed doors, like
yeah.
Don't cheat yourself. So anyways, guys, we will get ready to sign out here. We've been going for about 2 hours. We could probably go for another 2 hours on this topic because the
It's funny,
reality
bro.
is it's a juicy one.
Yeah.
But you know, I know you guys got shit to do. We got shit to do on our days. Either way, we're gonna try to be back here Friday.
And make sure, again, we're still doing the giveaway, guys,
Yes.
but we feel that we just need just more people to enter just to make it fair. You know, of course, we would love to give everybody something, but you know, we
comment
just
on the
want-
right damn video.
Yeah, we're comment on the right video. We need you guys to go to the
one
right
that says
video.
1K giveaway.
Exactly. So you know, do that, and the faster we can get more people on this, you know, the faster we can give this giveaway. You know, because we just want to make it fair. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I know you guys are probably waiting for it, or
But it's only
waiting-
been a week and a half.
but still, you know, like regardless, you know, I like to, you know, keep them interested and
2
stuff.
weeks actually. since we
But
hit
still,
1K.
like, you know, again, we need you guys to like, comment, and on the correct video.
Yep. So yeah, you guys make sure you do that. And as always, any video you watch of us, and if you guys are really enjoying the content, hit the like button for us. It really does help. Share it to a friend. It does help us. We're trying to get the word out there. We're currently sitting at almost 1,500 subs. So we're going somewhere, guys. We're actually doing something, and we say it all the time. We really love doing this. We enjoy coming with the topics and, you know, bantering with each other, fucking shooting the shit. We every time we get off the pod, we're like, that shit was hilarious. Like some of the shit we say is just just comedy, man. But you know, sometimes we say it for shock value, but sometimes we say it because it's absolutely fucking true. So
Yeah.
as far as next week goes, we're gonna try to go live Friday. We do have one person in the works, a special guest. He actually
We actually
has
had a couple.
yeah, we actually have like 4 people in the works.
Yeah.
We have a TikTok influencer and like IG influencer coming in possibly April.
You know, some entrepreneurs.
She's a model and like trying to like she's a traveling model, so she's trying to actively be something. And then we also have another lady. She's also on IG. She actually just recently did a photo shoot. She's also a model. Either way, one's in July, one's in April. And then we also have A1 that
Yeah,
we want to try
A1.
to get on the
Yeah,
pod.
he's an entrepreneur, you
Yeah,
know,
and-
self-made man.
You know, I know
No.
you reached out to him for me, and we would like to get his story on here and have him talk about his stuff. He actually does YouTube and
Yeah.
IG skits and videos and things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that with his
definitely.
girl. So it'd be really nice to get him on here and speak on his you know, where he came from, what made him want to be an entrepreneur, how it's been as far as successes go, and you know, things like that.
Yeah.
Failures, successes, things. We just want to have a real conversation with people who are really out here trying to do it. Again, male self-development is important to us too.
Yeah.
Just because we talk on dating all the time, it's a hot topic, but at the end of the day, we want to give value to men who are really in here watching and show them that there's a way to really be that guy.
Yeah.
You know? So anyways, we will leave it at that. We absolutely enjoy having you guys in here all the time. Thank you to everybody who comes and comments all the time. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back here
Next
as
week.
long as work doesn't get in the way. We will be here Friday. And if you guys like this new Saturday time, please let us know.
Let us know.
If you guys prefer us on Saturdays, let us know. We'll do it on Saturdays if it's better for people to watch and whatever else, you know. So, anyways, anything you want to say before we sign out?
Nah, man, just thank you again for tuning in, tapping in, and you know, again, I know we asked for a lot, you know, when we asked for you guys to share and like the video, but it really does help us a lot, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys hear all these influencers say like, share the video. No, same as us, man.
And
you
giving
know?
no value. For
We're
it.
not like I said. My goal is not to get famous off this shit. I just want to speak my piece and have people hear what I have to say.
We
You
want
know what I
to
mean?
we want to spread the word, and we want to make the dating market what it used to be, man.
Yeah,
Have
anything
traditional
helps.
values and things like that. Like get men and women back to what chivalry was
Traditional.
like. Yeah, traditional
Yeah.
shit. Like we're advocating for that. Granted, we might be being dogs sometimes saying it the way we say it, but that's just of the time. That's what we have to deal with. So here comes the IG models that will be interesting.
Yeah, see what they got to say. You know.
Look, and I know the first guest that we had on, she was good, and I don't think we grilled her enough, and I think we didn't ask tougher questions, and I think it would be really. She actually spoke on coming back on the pod, so I think it'd be nice to get her back on and ask her more tough questions and
Yeah.
like really get insights on, you know, what she deals with as a woman, and like kind of press her a little bit, you know, because I feel like there's some things that she might have said to us that was true, but I also think she kind of sugarcoated just to like naturally to make yourself look like not so bad. But I think it's important that we get her back on and have a better conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah, the models that we have coming on, you know, they're doing their own thing and trying to make it in their own realm on social media, and we're all for that. But we also want to kind of get their take on dating and what they've dealt with, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so read between all those lines. Yes, man. But all right, guys, we'll catch you guys next week. Much love, and until next time, your boy Chaos, West Coast Lulu in the house. We'll see y'all. Much love. Peace.